This video is going to show you how to complete page 8 out of your math book. So the example says, you've been hired by your neighbors to babysit their children on Friday night. You're paid $8 per hour. Complete the table relating your pay to the number of hours worked. Okay. So it's telling us right here in the paragraph, you're paid $8 per hour. You see that per hour right there? That should be a hint that that's the unit rate. That $8 per hour, okay? So if you worked 1 hour, you know your pay is $8. So since this is a table, I also want you to label X and Y. And just to make sure that you know that that's the unit rate, you should remember that unit rate is Y divided by X. So when I substitute the values in, Y is pay, so I better label that $8. And then X is hours per hour. And you see that 1 is in the denominator, then that's like a big giant hint that, hey, that's the unit rate, $8 per hour. So to get from this X value to this Y value, we multiplied by 8, okay, times 8. So that should be consistent throughout this entire table. You're going to multiply that X value times 8 to get your corresponding Y value because you're making $8 per every hour. So if you had worked 2 hours, you'd make $16. 3 hours, $24. 4 hours, you'd make $32. If you worked 4.5 hours, you would get $36. Okay. Another way you can think of this, if this doesn't really come very straightforward to you, you can think of it, well, gosh, how much did they make for 4 hours? They made $32. Well, then how much would they make for half an hour? Well, if 1 full hour was $8, then that would mean a half hour would be $4. So 4 plus 32 gives you the 36. Okay, if you worked 5 hours, you would make $40. If you worked 6 hours, which is double the 3 hours, if you made $24 in 3 hours, just double that, and you would get 48 hours for working 6 hours. Okay, 6.5 hours is going to be 52. And if you didn't have a calculator to figure that out, you can think of it as, well, what was 6 hours? Well, 6 hours was $48. And if you had half an hour that you worked, since a full hour is $8, working half an hour would be $4, and 48 for working the 6 plus that half an hour of $4 is 52. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Okay? Woo! So you see that we got a nice consistent unit rate right here. We know that this right here is a proportional relationship. So based on the table above is the pay proportional to the hours worked. How do you know? Yes, it's proportional because there's a consistent unit rate of, you make $8 per hour. I should put making or earning. Okay. All right, bye. Oh, you know what? I want to stop right here because I want to take this a little step further. I want you to know how to make an equation out of this, okay? An equation to represent the relationship between the X and the Y. So something that I want you to write down. The equation that represents this table would be Y equals, so the Y value is equal to the X value times 8, so 8X, okay? Or we can just write it like 8 times X, because you know we like to put the coefficient before the variable, is equal to Y. So here's how this will help you in the future. If for some reason you were given like this right here, and you didn't know this 48, so they were telling you 6 hours, you work 6 hours, what was the pay? You take that 6, because it's an X, and you substitute in for X. So 8 times 6 is 48. So Y would be 48, okay? Right here, let's say you didn't know that this was 6.5. So see this 52, it's a Y, you substitute it in for Y. So you'd put 52 equals 8 times X, and then solve for X. And when you solve for X, you would get 6.5. More on that later though. Bye.